And bringing your hands to heart center. Breathing in, lifting your heart up towards your hands. Exhale, bow your head towards your heart. Focus your mind's eye at your heart center. Feeling into the strength of will, your courageous heart, ready to practice today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Hands lower, gently lifting your head, opening your eyes, welcome. And we'll come forward to tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees. And from here, taking a few hip circles. I'm just allowing your hips to lubricate, feeling some motion through the body. And you could add anything in here that you like. So you can stop in child's pose. You can move through a little bit of cat-cow. Bend into each elbow. Pause wherever you feel sensation. Breathe into that space. Or if you're circling, maybe switching that circle direction now and just heading the opposite way. And coming back towards neutral tabletop, knees right underneath your hips, and then lowering down onto your forearms. So coming down onto your forearms, making that box frame. So pull your belly gently in and up, helping to support the spine in this position. And then find some space through your neck. So really reach the base of that occipital ridge or the back base of your skull forward, away from the frame of your shoulders. And then tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. So finding dolphin pose or your down dog on your forearms. And taking a few breaths here. And as you hold, hug your elbows gently towards one another and then gently back towards your toes. So you're feeling this pull to your center line or to your core. And draw your belly in and up and use that motion to help guide your pubic bone back towards between your inner thighs. Go ahead and lower your knees. Come back down to your tabletop. So replacing your elbows with your palms, coming up onto your hands. Breathe in, reach your left arm up, opening up. Exhale to thread the needle. Send your hips back in space. Reach your left arm through the right, lowering your left shoulder and ear down to the mat. Go ahead and walk your right arm forward, lengthening your right arm forward, pressing your palm down. And as you press the right palm down, press the back of your left arm down and use those engagements to separate the shoulder blades away from one another. Gently dome your back, so tuck the chin and press your mid-back towards the sky. Pull your belly in and use it to root your hips back in space, lengthening, stretching your low back. 2 deep breaths here. Walk the right hand in towards your face, press down through the palm as you breathe in, open the left arm up to the sky. And exhale, left hand back down, find your tabletop or all fours. Coming to the right side, breathe in, reach the right arm up, stack the shoulders, open, exhale to thread, send your hips back in space as you lower your right ear, right shoulder down to the mat. And then left arm is creeping forward, reaching forward to the top of your mat, pressing the palm into the floor. At the same time, pressing the back of your right arm. So maybe that's the back of your right forearm or the back of your hand into the floor. And you feel this winging of the right shoulder blade away from your back body, pulling the front of your throat in, creating more space through the back, little doming shape through your upper back, hips going back in space. Breathe deep in, expanding, exhale, softening. Once more, full breath. Walking the left hand in towards your face, press down through the palm. Breathe in, reach the right arm up, open up. And exhale back to your tabletop, all fours, hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Now really opening up through the armpits and the front of the arms, feeling that length as you reach your tail high, ground through the heels of your palms. And start to feel that openness trace up your arms towards the hip creases. Walk your feet back an inch or two, lengthening out your down dog. Soften through the knees, but keep pressing your heels towards the floor. Good, lower floating ribs draw in, helping you to glide your hips away from your rib cage, and then relax your neck, maybe even looking right and left, and shaking the head yes. Start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming to the top of your mat, forward fold. So feet about hip width distance. You can reach onto opposite elbows, or you can cup behind your legs, or even grab behind your heels and pull your upper body towards your lower. It's making this stretch more active. So choosing your shape, and then focusing back to your breath. So a little movement here. And wherever you are, tilting your weight forward towards your toes. So becoming lighter in your heels. Relaxing through your neck, really let your head hang. And arms hang back towards the floor. Breathe into your half lift. So hands can come to your shins, heart pulls forward, shoulders back. Exhale, fold in, round in, forehead towards your shins. Good, once more, breathe in, half lift. You can always keep the fingertips down. Exhale, fold in, round, forehead pulls in, belly to spine. Start to ragdoll yourself to standing. So root back to your heels, shifting your weight back. Slowly start to come up, unfurling your spine. Shin is the last thing to lift. Reaching the top, rotate the palms forward, fingertips wide, stand proud, mountain pose. Feel your feet pressing down and the hips yielding up, lifting away from the earth. Big breath in, circle the arms wide, reach up. Palms press together, lock the thumbs, exhale. Inhale, reach up, lift up. Bump the hips towards the left, reach up and over to the right side. Bend, focus on planking through your body, pulling your abs in, glutes strong, legs strong, reaching up and over, squeezing the arms towards your head. Good, feel your body rooting through your heels. Square your hips and shoulders forward. One more breath. Press your hips further to the left, reach to the right and back through center. Lift yourself up. Stay long through your spine, twisting your hips to the right, reaching up and over to the left. So palms press together, arms squeezing towards your head. Lots of strength here. Pull your belly in, helping you align your shoulders back over your hips as you press the hips to the right, reach to the left. Breathe into that right side body, creating more space between each right rib as you inhale. Ground as you exhale. Breathe in, hips to center, look up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Pause here. And continue to breathe deep as you press your palms back. And shoulders hugging down. Hips press forward, lift your gaze up, helping to lift your chest up. And now rock the weight back into your heels. Feel your abs engage, lean back an inch or two. Lift through center, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold, bend your knees, belly towards your thighs, head hangs. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, fold and round. Plant your palms, step your feet back, down dog, breathe in. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Pause here, find your strength, firming up every muscle in your body now. Keep your head lifted. So you're still carrying your head, keeping your neck in line with your spine, looking towards the top of your mat. Kicking back through your heels, pull your low belly in, hug your arms in towards your core frame, and begin to bend your elbows slowly lower. You can always lower your knees first, then the belly, then your chest. Baby cobra, root your feet, lift your heart up. Exhale and slowly lower. Again, baby cobra, inhale, lift, this time to hold. Holding at the top, breathe out. Squeeze the elbows towards one another, roll those shoulder heads back. Firm your legs, press the tops of your feet down. Root your pubic bone down, your belly down, lift your chest a little higher. Breathe in, find that highest height through your cobra, slow peel down, breathe out, come all the way back to the mat. Tuck your toes, push up, plank pose, down dog, exhale, hips go up and back. 3 deep breaths here. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're coming to the back of your mat, walking your hands back to your feet, and then turn your left toes out to a 45-degree angle and step your right foot forward 1 foot. And so 1 foot, really short stance, left foot turned out, and peel the right toes up from the mat, shifting your weight back into your left heel, the right toes pulling up. Stretching, folding over this right leg. So you can take the left hand onto your left hip, bend your right elbow, and reach your right elbow down to your right toes. So you can make a prayer hand with the right hand and bring it towards heart center, reaching through that right elbow down towards the right toes as they pull back to your face, shifting most of your weight into your left leg. Keep that left knee bent as your weight is shifting back. Twisting the torso towards the left to bring your right elbow closer to your right toes. Fold over the right leg, so square to the right leg. Breathe in. You can half lift, lengthen the spine, the heart forward, and then exhale, fold over that right leg. Think forehead to knee, crown of the head towards your right big toe. Then start to bend into your right leg, lowering the right foot to the floor. Step your left foot forward so your feet are hip width distance and in one line. Bend the knees, circle your arms up to chair pose. Breathe in. Exhale, sit in. Okay. As you find your chair here, scoop your glutes underneath you. It's sort of like you're pulling them together to feel the seat upon which you're sitting. And then allow your knees to press forward, working on the flexion through your ankles, but at the same time, rock some weight to your heels. So you feel your heels are still anchored. Arms are active, really reach up through your hands, lift the chest, and feel your body pulling in 2 directions. Your hips seeking your heels, your heart lifting towards the sky. Very energetic pose here. Staying with your breath and feeling the sensation as it starts to build through this hold of the posture. 2 more full cycles of breath. Exhaling. Inhaling through the back of the nose and throat. Exhale audibly. Inhale, stand up, straighten out your legs. Cactus your arms, exhale, back bend. Hips forward, heart lifts. Inhale, straighten out, stand back up. Forward fold. Bend the knees, belly to the thighs, head hangs. Inhale to your half lift, find length. Exhale to fold in and round. This time, left foot stays where it is. Right foot steps back about 1 foot length. Right, your feet are still about hip width distance and you're turning the right toes out to a 45-degree angle. Bend through your right knee, allowing your tail to sink down. Pull those left toes up from the ground. little straight left leg, bent right knee. You can always come up higher if you need to. Hands can always come onto your thighs. Working to flat back as you hinge at your hips. And bring your right hand onto your right hip crease. Bend your left elbow. Left hand can come towards heart center. Reach that left elbow down for your left toes. As you reach left elbow to left toes, begin to open your chest towards the right, stacking your shoulders. Bend into your standing leg more, so your right knee. Bend your right knee more, sink your hips down, flatten your back, twist through the spine. Start to unwind, fold over your left leg. Then inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips can float up from the floor as the heart pulls forward. Exhale, fold in, round in, forehead towards the knee, crown of the head towards your left big toe. Without moving your legs, just widen your knees a bit, open through the groin, breathe in, breathe out. Start to bend into your left knee, lowering the left foot down to your mat. Step your right foot forward. Feet are hip width distance again. Bend your knees, circle your arms up. Second chair pose, holding here, breathing deep. Was accentuating here this natural curvature of your spine. So as much as you can, stay upright. Feel your knees trying to bend and sink your weight down into your heels as you reach and lift up through the heart. Can you soften around your neck, your jaw, closing your jaw together? Let your tongue rest onto the roof of your mouth. Inhale, straighten out your legs. Exhale, pause here, arms overhead, bring your hands together. Good, keep breathing, lock your thumbs. This time, full back bend. So squeeze your buttocks, hips press forward, lift up through your chest and look up towards your thumbs. You're here in the pose now. Get a little more engagement through your core by leaning some of your weight back to your heels. Maybe you can look back further, reach back further, open up the heart, take small sips of air as you continue to breathe. Slowly lift yourself back to standing. Look forward, breathe in, exhale, forward fold. Come all the way back down. Walk your hands forward, your feet back. Down dog, breathe in, breathe out. High plank, breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Maybe lowering knees, belly, and then chest. Breathe in, baby cobra. Feet anchor, heart lifts. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, breathe in, push up. Down dog, up and back, hips high. 3 breaths here. Can you bend a little through your elbows? So helping relax your shoulders down your back. And tuck those low floating ribs in towards your core, supporting your mid-back, supporting your spine. Looking forward between your hands, bend your knees, step forward or float forward, top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift and find length. Exhale, fold and round and forehead towards your shins. Bend your knees, root to rise, arms wide, big breath in as you stand all the way up. Hands to heart center, breathe out, pause, find your stillness. Rooting to the earth, lifting to the sky. Feel the engagement through your body, pressing down into your feet, pulling your low abs in, standing with intention, focusing back on your breath, and noticing any sensations you're feeling now through the body. Go ahead, breath in, circle your arms wide, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, hips forward, heart lifts. Inhale, reach up, straighten out. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Find your low lunge here, right side. Good, so as you find this low lunge, root into your right heel and separate your thighs long. Allowing your hips to sink, finding that sensation of splits, of stretch. And then spike your back heel a little higher, shifting more weight forward and firming through the back leg. Dial your left heel in and down. Rising to warrior one, root through your front heel, circle your arms all the way up. Push your hips forward. As you root to the outside of your left foot, push your tailbone towards your right heel, and then lift, lift, lift through your arms and feel that lift help bring the weight up out of your low back. Square those shoulders forward, reaching the left armpit especially forward and up. And start to straighten out your front leg. Good. Keep a micro bend in that knee and squeeze the right kneecap up towards your right hip bone. Then hands lower down to your hips and square your hips forward so you can actually feel those hip bones pointing towards the top of your mat. If it helps, you can always step the back foot up so you can shorten your stance here. And then begin to hinge forward, flat back. You're going to stop when your spine is about parallel to the floor, or you can stop higher as well. And ground down through that right big toe. You can stay right here, or you have an option to reach onto opposite elbows. You can interlace grip or take prayer hands. Wherever you are, keeping the chest open, plugging the right hip down and back. Imagine sucking the right leg into your right hip socket. Like you're pulling the muscles of that right thigh of the quad and the back of the leg up into the hip socket. Feeling that hip work, pull your belly in. Maybe you can hinge lower. And then root through your right big toe and the ball of your foot to help you lift back up. Bending into the front knee, arms circle up, warrior one. Good, keeping that engagement going through the right hip, root down through the right heel strongly. Take the right hand back to the right hip or the thumb into the hip crease. Reach up through the left hand and again begin to hinge forward. So you're taking the same motion now but with a bent knee. Left arm is helping keep this left side long and engaged. And then go ahead and lower that left hand down towards your right shin. So it can land on the inside of the leg or the front of the leg. Hips going back in space. You can use your right thumb to help traction that right hip back a little further. And then gently begin to rotate through your spine and twist your chest towards the right. So adding in this rotation, no rush, start to look towards the right side. Left hand can move to the outside of your right leg now. Keep pressing the right knee a little bit wide towards the right to help keep the traction of the knee forward, prevent it from collapsing in, and root back into that right heel firmly. Can you twist a little deeper, maybe drawing your gaze over your right shoulder, looking back. Begin to unwind. Reach that left arm forward and up, lengthening through the left side. Reach the right arm overhead as well, really strong here. Root through the right heel, lift yourself back up to your warrior one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spike your back heel high, shifting weight forward to your front foot. Warrior three, you can keep your arms overhead or swing your arms back as you begin to lift up those left toes from the floor. You can always touch them back down for a little kickstand of support, or you can begin to hinge forward more, bringing your torso parallel to the floor as you lift that right hip up and back, left hip down and forward. Pull the belly in. Step your feet together, top of the mat, chair pose, arms circle up, breathe in. Exhale, sit into chair, breathe out. Inhale, stand all the way up. Cactus your arms, breathe out. Inhale, straighten out, reach to the sky. Forward fold, bend your knees, belly to your thighs, let it hang. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold and round. Just pause here for a moment. And noticing any differences in sensation between that right hip, right side, and left hip, left side. Begin to step your right foot to the back of your mat. Low lunge, left side. So as you come to the left side, remember, find that splits. It's almost like your stance is too long, right? You're really feeling the separation of your legs. And at the same time, you're hugging this left heel back towards your right toes. You get that hug to the center line of your body. Spike your back heel. Breathe in, breathe out. And can you make more space around your shoulders? Just pulling your shoulder blades a little bit down towards your hips. And pulling the front of your throat towards the back of your neck. Dial the right heel in and down, back foot to a 45. Root through the front heel to rise up. Warrior one, arms to the sky. And finding a focal spot for your gaze here. So looking forward, focus on a spot in the room, hold that gaze, and deepen your exhale, pressing all the way to the bottom of the breath. And slowly inhale to fill up, avoiding that sensation of gasp. Pull the right armpit forward and up, reaching it away from the outside of your right foot. Begin to straighten out your front leg. Hug the left knee up towards your left hip. Hands can lower down to your hips now. Help to square your hips forward, send that right hip forward, left hip back. And pull your belly button in as you hinge forward to the flat back. Take your time here. Feel those little sensations of balance, the stability through your left leg. Keep hugging this left kneecap up, engaging your left quads, all those muscles on the front side of your leg. And really try to hug in or connect that left hip to your left leg. And pulling all those muscles up as you reach your heart forward, maybe stopping when you're about parallel to the floor. Remember, you can always step your back foot up if you need a little more stability here or to help to square your hips forward. Push down through the ball of your left foot, circling your arms up back to your warrior one. Keeping your knee bent, beginning to hinge forward once more. Keep that right arm long, reaching overhead, and your left hand come to your left hip crease. So left hand onto your left hip, right arm stays long. You're reaching out those right fingertips as you're pressing back through your right heel. So you're really feeling this straight line on the right side body. At the same time, you can use this left thumb to help plug that left hip back, like you're anchoring your left sit bone to the earth. Reach your tailbone towards your right big toe, that back foot. Right hand can lower down towards this left leg. You're starting to feel the hinge a little bit deeper. And gently start to rotate your gaze and your chest towards the left. Maybe the right hand moves to the outside of your left leg, and you press the left leg into that right hand, resisting right hand to left leg to hand. Pressing those 2 points together to help you engage through the side body and twist. Maybe you can rotate your gaze back over that left shoulder. 2 breaths here. Holding, breathing, sink your hips down, press into your feet, pull your belly in, twist a little deeper. Take your time, slowly. Unwind, reach the right arm back overhead towards the sky. Good, rooting to lift up, press through the left heel, rise to warrior one. Good, strong hips, beautiful job. Inhale. Exhale. Spike your back heel, shifting your weight forward, lifting you up, coming towards your warrior three. Remember, hands can come back or you can keep them overhead to get the heartbeat up. Shifting your weight forward to that front foot. You can keep high with a straight line from your back leg through your spine, maybe tapping those right toes down to the mat for stability, or hinge it forward, bringing your chest lower towards the floor, lifting the right leg up. Left hip comes up and back. Step your feet together, chair pose, top of the mat. Breathe in, arms up. Exhale, sit in, breathe out. Inhale, straighten out your legs. Practice arm back bend. Exhale, hips forward, lift the chest. Inhale, arms reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, belly to your thighs, head hangs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Step your feet back. Down dog, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, shift forward to your high plank. Exhale, slow lower, maybe lowering the knees, then the belly, then the chest, coming all the way down. Inhale, lift to your baby cobra. Exhale and lower. Good. Arm stretch, shoulder stretch. You're going to reach the left arm out to the left side, palm down, then the right knee up. You're going to start to roll over that left shoulder or to your left side. Now, depending on your shoulders, will depend how far you go here. So you can really just start to lean towards that left side, stack your legs, and relax here. You don't have to roll all the way over your left shoulder, right? If that's too much sensation, you've had like a previous shoulder injury that feels scary, you can still get this stretch by just gently pushing to that right hand and starting to lean into your left side. Now, if you're feeling good here, you're feeling open, you want some more, then you can roll entirely to this left side, maybe even dropping the right foot behind you, and the right arm in either position can start to reach back towards your low back. This is a really nice place for a pillow underneath the head so that the neck stays in line with the rest of the spine, so you have a little bit more height for your neck. And if you want to grab a pillow or support, you have time. We're going to be here for 6 breaths. And really focusing on your breath here is a tool to help relax those myofascial layers across the shoulders and the back body, across the chest, and to allow the inhale to really open up and create some space, and the exhale to relax into letting go of tension. Knowing that each time that we exhale, we create more sensations, so expecting that, staying with that, and remaining curious about all these sensations that start to build through our own experience. And there's this gentle draw of your left shoulder away from your left ear. Feel free to make micro adjustments and explore here. 3 deep breaths. And this is an intense stretch. It's a deep stretch. So slowly you're going to unwind. You're going to take your time and move back towards your belly mindfully, as if each little moment is its own pose, sort of checking in as you unroll. And then you're going to come to Sphinx pose. So Pull that left arm in, come onto your elbows and take a pause. Palms down, arms are about shoulder width distance. And your heels, your legs are relaxed, your heels are just gently flaring out. Kind of turtle your neck up out of your shoulders, lift your head. If this is too much for your low back, just walk your elbows forward so you're not going to be as high as lifted. You can make little half circles with your chin to your chest. Draw a half circle towards that left shoulder, right shoulder. You can look up, lift your chin up, your chest up, and then chin back to chest. Maybe doing that a couple of times, like you're moving your head, yes, but slowly, controlled. Just feeling those points of stretch, maybe pausing if you like in a space that feels good. And then we're going to lower back down and extend the right arm out to the right. So right arm straight to the right side. Just making sure the palm is straight out from the shoulder, not above your shoulder. And then left hand comes underneath the left shoulder. You can bend that left knee up if you plan to roll all the way onto the right. You push off the left hand and just gently roll onto that right side. Maybe that's enough, right? Maybe you just stack the legs and you're using this left arm to keep your weight going towards the right arm. Or maybe this side feels even different than the other and you're able to go a little further. You're just listening to this side and this shoulder as its own. Experience as its own side to nurture. And I'm noticing here on this right side that my right shoulder head kind of hugs up a lot closer towards my right ear than it did on the other side. So I'm going to just pick up my head a little bit and see if I can rock that right shoulder back more. And maybe bringing a pillow for the head. Well, part of the sensation that we're feeling is this right shoulder blade releasing from the back body, as if the shoulder blade were just going to slide up past the spine towards the sky. And you may also be feeling the pressure of the top of the shoulder head into the floor, right? As those connectors towards your collarbone and the top of your spine and your neck, holding that tightness, are starting to get the pressure into the floor. We're slowly releasing that tension, that clinging towards center. Maybe the left arm reaches across towards the low back as we take 4 more deep breaths here. Good, lots of sensation in this pose, maybe tingling through the arm or the fingertips, heat building. And together, let's take one more inhale, slowly breathing in through the back of the nose. Exhale. And we'll start to unwind. Take your time here. Again, gently coming back towards the belly. Feeling that twist through the back. Start to unwind. Good. And then to your Sphinx pose. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. And this time we're going to make Sphinx a little more active. So pulling your elbows back towards your hip bones. Right, so elbows are about underneath your shoulders. They may be forward if that heightened space is too much for your back. So if you feel your low back has any kind of tightness sensation, just walk those elbows forward a bit. But wherever your elbows land, hug them back towards your hips. And set your shoulder blades a little bit towards one another and down your back. So it's not this like clenching of your shoulder blades, but it's just this setting of the shoulders nicely onto your back body and bringing them into the support of the spine. And then check in with your neck. Notice if you need to lower your gaze a little bit so that you don't create tension through the neck here. And then can you just reach your sternum forward and up just a hair? Legs relaxed, press your pubic bone down, and just feel your tailbone start to lengthen and anchor towards the inner thighs. And breathe in here. Breathe out. Notice that movement of the breath through the body. Everything gets a little bit softer. You feel more flow. Hug the throat back. And start to release your chest down so you can stack your hands. Lower your forehead to your hands, elbows wide. And take 3 deep breaths here. Expand through your belly and feel your low back rise on your inhale. As you exhale, feel the low back fall. So inhale, belly expands, low back rises. Exhale, belly deflates, low back falls. Hands underneath your shoulders. Pull your low belly in. Press yourself to tabletop, hands and knees. Child's pose, breathe out, hips back toward your heels. Maybe scooting up on your mat a little. Bring your knees 1 inch closer together. So your belly is starting to rest more to your thighs, opening your low back, and then tuck your low ribs or your belly button to your hip creases. So you just feel this little crunch through the front side of your abs, helping to root your hips back in space and stretching more through that low back, through your low spine. Now let your head meet the floor. Maybe you need a pillow, and reach your hands back towards your feet. So this is important in that we're separating the shoulder blades now. Shoulder heads are rolling forward. And we're creating some subtle space in the mid and upper back as those shoulders melt away from the spine. Tuck your chin slightly. You're allowing the pressure in the head to roll more towards the crown than the forehead. And just take a few breaths here. Relaxing the weight of your body to gravity. Hands underneath your shoulders, gently peel yourself up to a seated pose. So coming into seated, your hips back to your heels. Those hands rest to your thighs. Close your eyes if you like. Noticing your long spine now. Can you relax through your waist? Let your tail drop. What's the least amount of effort you can use in sitting here? So while holding your shape, where can you relax and let go? Waist, tail, jaw, softening. And then flutter the eyes open if they're closed, and swing this left hand back by your left hip. So the left hand's going to touch down. You're probably going to have to lean back And your hand is about underneath your shoulder, right? You're leaning back into that left hand. Then reach your right arm overhead. So you're reaching up towards the sky and then just gently back behind you, keeping this right arm kind of in the length and the direction of your spine. And you can stay right here. You can lift your hips up, right? Opening from your right knee through your right hip to your right fingertips. Little bit of a twist of your chest towards the left. Shoulders starting to stack. Ground your knees down, lift your hips up, breathe in, breathe out. Keep the shape through your upper body, but ground your hips back down. So drop your hips back to your heels and start to reach this right arm across towards the left in the same direction as your gaze. So reaching that right arm over, all the way to the left. And you can slowly start to lower that right hand down to the outside of your left hip as well. So maybe these right fingertips touch the floor, maybe they don't touch, right? And you're just reaching through that right hand, feeling this twist and stretch of your upper back. Now, if you like, you can touch the right fingertips down by leaning into that left side. And now both hands can adjust off to the left side as you rotate through the upper back. Right, so you don't have to look exactly like me as you're reaching towards the left, but you're feeling this twist through the upper back and this real stretch from that right shoulder blade tip, so the bottom tip of the shoulder blade, to your tailbone. Good, and then you can come out the same way you came in, start to circle that right arm up to the sky, big breath in here as you reach back up. And then right hand can come back down towards your thigh, and you can lift your left hand back to your thigh as well. Steady at center, breathe in, breathe out. Relax the waist, let the tail drop. And then right hand sweeps behind you, other side. You're gonna lean back into that right hand, plant the palm down. Right hand is about underneath the right shoulder. Sweep the left arm overhead, reaching it up towards the sky and then back behind you. You can keep your hips anchored if you like, or lift the hips up towards the sky, ground the knees down, stretch, stretch, stretch through the front side of your body, especially feeling this length from the top of your left knee through your left armpit, left fingertips. Rotating your chest, your gaze towards the right. Keep pushing through the heel of the right hand, stabilizing that right shoulder. Good, one more breath, lift up. And then start to lower your hips down, keep the shape through the upper body. Left arm really starts to reach off towards the right now. Starting to lower that left hand towards the floor, but moving really slowly so you can feel that twist and this rotation of the scapula as you're moving this left hand, left shoulder. Good, and now you're sort of reaching through those left fingertips towards the floor. Your gaze can lower towards between your hands. Good, squeeze your legs a bit back together. And maybe lean a little towards the right and touch those left fingertips down. You can adjust your right hand wherever it feels comfortable as you twist towards the right. And can you relax through your tail? Allow those hips to sink a bit more. And feel the stretch from left shoulder wing tip to tailbone tip. Returning the same way you came in, left arm sweeps overhead, breathe in. And left hand to left thigh, breathe out. Bring the right hand with you. Good, beautiful job. Walk forward on your mat. And we'll begin to lie back. So cross your legs, find a seat. And legs forward, and we'll take a slow roll down. So as you roll down, flex your feet, squeeze your legs together, reach your arms forward towards your feet. Pull the low belly in, lift your low back forward, and then take that slow roll down, scooping your belly as you roll. It's okay if your feet pop up, that's fine as well. Just doing your best. Keep breathing. And we're going to come all the way onto our back. Bend the knees and find a little bridge. Lifting your hips up. Good, bridge pose, heels about underneath the knees. Keep a little squeeze between the legs to stabilize the pelvis. So inner thighs helping to stabilize the pelvis. And then root down somewhere through your shoulders. So I like to bend the elbows and like press the elbows down into the floor. And you feel that frame through the back of the shoulders, and then just relax the neck. Maybe rocking the head, no chin to left shoulder, chin to right shoulder. And take your time to articulate this roll of the spine back to the mat, creating this hammocking effect between one vertebrae and the next, as we slowly allow the spine to connect back to the floor, the tailbone last, the hips sink to the earth. And then walk your feet forward just a few inches and heel toe the feet together. You're going to take a slow butterfly open and close. So hands can come to the belly and just gently start to widen your knees. Take your time, move real slow here. Deepen your breath. As the knees widen, the bottoms of the feet naturally start to peel towards one another. We're opening your legs into butterfly, and take 3 or 4 deep breaths here. The most important part of this pose is when we begin to move again. So as slowly as you possibly can, especially in those first motions, start to draw your legs towards one another. And just feel that connection of your inner thighs into your hips and groin. Feeling those muscles across the pubic bone help to close your legs. Really stay curious about the sensations of your hips as you breathe. Staying connected to your breath as you slowly move your legs towards one another, sealing up your butterfly 1 inch at a time. The bottoms of the feet naturally peeling back towards the floor. Keep moving slow, keep breathing deep. And if you're still moving slowly, beautiful job, stay with that. If you're ready, you can take gentle spinal twist. Soft set to the right an inch, pull the knees into the chest, and then lower the knees off towards the left side. As you twist to the left, that right hand can stay on your right side body, becoming more gentle here, or you can extend that right arm out to the right, gaze to the right, deepen your twist. This might feel different than normal, so those upper back stretches, and your shoulder might be able to ground to the floor a little bit more comfortably. As you breathe into your belly, allow that low back twist on your exhale. When you're ready, you can start to unwind your twist, taking the opposite side. So a little bridge maybe to get at center to reset, and then offsetting the hips just 1 inch to the left. Draw your knees in towards your chest, and then off towards the right, lowering the knees down to the right. Roll onto that right side, entirely stacking your hips. Left hand can come with you. Holding the left hand onto your left ribs, just let the elbow hang back. That twist gently radiating up your spine. Or if it feels natural, if it's good, extend that left arm to the left, gazing towards your hand. Breathing deep. Exhaling each exhale, twisting, softening. Notice where your tailbone points. Does it feel better to point it more back or more forward? When you're ready, unwind, roll to center. Take a little bridge to reset your hips and extend one leg and the other. Really feeling that release, relaxing to the front of your hip bones, around the groin. Send your belly breath low and expand your belly as you breathe in. Soften your jaw, breathe out. As you breathe here, as if you're expanding the belly so much that you expand to your hip bones. Like there's a balloon around your hip bones that's helping to lift and press your hips down away from your torso. Feel your legs soften, your hips sink, your shoulders drop down and back. Tension melt from your face, your eyes rolling to the back of your head. Your tongue dropping to the back roof of your mouth. All the wrinkles melting from your face. And you can stay here or begin to find some subtle movements. Maybe rolling to your side body. Fetal pose, taking a pause and a breath. You can always stay reclined back, working your way up to your seat, closing where you began. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lifting your heart up. Exhale, bowing your head down. Feeling this balance between grace and will, between the courage of our heart and the softness of its spirit. Feeling the body, feeling the breath. Thank you. In gratitude. Namaste.